My name is Christian Stokke. I'm a professor in human geography at the University of Oslo. I have been researching questions of popular movements and democratization and peace for 25, 30 years. The last 10 years, I've been following politics in Myanmar. And the reason that we're talking now is probably because I have nominated the civil disobedience movement for the Nobel Peace Prize. The Nobel Peace Prize is generally recognized as a very visible, foremost peace prize internationally. It is first and foremost a recognition for individuals or organizations that have made a major contribution towards peace in one situation or another. The nomination is in recognition of the civil disobedience movement and their non-violent struggle for democracy in Myanmar. And one reason that we nominated is that it's an expression of support for the movement. So far, I think that the international community has made some important statements condemning the coup and the military's brutal use of violence. There have been fewer statements of support or recognition for the popular movement for democracy and peace, or against the coup, essentially. So the nomination can also be seen as an international statement of support for the movement. And that's a good question. The Peace Prize has often been given to individuals, sometimes to organizations, but then very formal organizations. It's not so common to give the prize to a social movement, but that's in our case a very deliberate choice to nominate the movement rather than to nominate political leaders or some formal organization. We do think that the question of the political future in Myanmar is very much dependent on the broad popular mobilization against the coup and for a return, or not just a return to formal democracy, but to build a better, more real democracy, and a democracy that can also create true national unity and peace. So it is in recognition that real democracy, as something that goes beyond formal democracy, has to rely on struggles, on movements, and CDM is a foremost example of that. And it is also important in a wider setting, not just in Myanmar, but also as a foremost example of a popular mass movement for democracy in a time when democracy is under pressure globally from authoritarian actors and agendas. Well, for some of the reasons that I just mentioned, for the mass mobilization, the use of non-violence for democracy and peace, for their contribution to building a broad movement across traditional divides, for national unity, for real federal democracy, but also because it is an inspiration and an example of mass mobilization for democracy at a larger scale internationally. They should also win it. Well, they should win it because they deserve it, but they should also win it because it will have political implications and important signals.